So our bacteria in our bodies is incredibly important to our health, and the type of bacteria really can determine a lot of things about us. It can determine the health of obviously the health of our gut, right? Because that's where a lot of the bacteria is. Um, they have even done studies, or anecdotally at least, they've seen where they can actually give. I think they can give a mouse diabetes from a diabetic person through fecal transplant. Um, there was a story I ran across, which I can't verify, but I ran across that a mom and a daughter did fecal transplant. Daughter was a little heavier, and and after the transplant, the mom gained weight and couldn't shake it. Um, so it's pretty crazy how our bacteria is controlling a lot of things in our life. Um, there is strong evidence that suggests that your bacterial and your gut health, your bacterial health, your bacterial community strongly influences and influences your mental health. So people with intense anxiety, depression, many of those people also have gut issues. And I was listening to a podcast where the gut expert was saying that it also goes the other way, however, that trauma can cause gut issues. So he was saying if you're doing all the right things for your gut, but you're not getting rid of your gut problems, then get healing for the trauma. And he said he's seen when people get healing for their trauma, that because they're already doing the good behaviors for their gut, that they can see dramatic improvement very rapidly. And so it's true. Like, we're a living system, both in terms of our emotions and our physiology, and the two are very connected. And we're also connected on a biological level as far as the bacteria living inside of us are really determine a lot of things about us, I guess. And it's interesting that, even in this modern era where we consider ourselves to be relatively sanitized, I suppose, although I suppose COVID kind of disabused us of this idea that we're on our own by from a bacterial standpoint. But they say that a husband and wife share. I want to say they share about 25% of their bacterial. Boy, maybe it was even more than that. I forget. I shouldn't say any number because I forget what the actual percentage was. But husbands and wives tend to share a lot of percentage, a high percentage of bacteria, and the ones with a good connection in the relationship share more bacteria than ones that do not have as good of a connection. Now, you do share bacteria with everyone in your household, and as you might imagine, but there's more between the spouse than just like with your kids or whatever. And then, so I'm sure it also applies to coworkers, probably. Maybe a little disturbing to think about. uh, but it is, uh, everywhere we go, essentially, we're shedding bacteria and we're also picking up bacteria. And it's kind of crazy to think that we're living in this sort of bacterial soup, if you will. But we are. And potentially that's a good thing. I mean, um, a strong immune system that's capable and ready to deal with whatever comes along, I suppose, is a good thing. And having a healthy gut, eating lots of fiber, is part of the way to be prepared and to have a good immune system. So, anyway, you are not alone. You have millions of gut bacteria, maybe even billions in your gut right now. And even if you had none there, which I guess if you had none, you'd be dead. So, there's, you're also living in a world where you're sharing lots of bacteria with other people. So, anyway, be lively.